Welcome back to the Varkha Cholani channel. Today is the day of Giving Gyaan, and I'm going to tell you a story of a farmer and a baker. A farmer would continue to provide butter to the baker, but one fine day the baker felt that the farmer was providing him with a little less butter. So he decided to weigh the butter and found that his hunch was right, that somehow he was getting much less than what the farmer had promised. Angrily, he took the farmer to the court, and the judge asked the farmer how was he weighing the butter when he was giving it to the baker. The farmer smiled and said, "Your Honor, I'm primitive. I don't have any measure to weigh the butter, but I do have scales." So the judge in turn asked, "And so, how do you weigh the butter?" He said, "Every day I buy a loaf of bread from the baker, and I decided to use his loaf as a measure because he promised me that every day he would supply me an ounce of loaf. When I put his loaf on one side of the scale, I put my butter on the other, and whatever his bread weighs, equally so does my butter." The baker was surprised because he had been caught out. He was cheating the farmer and actually supplying to him a little less than a pound of bread. As a result of which, the judge smiled and said, "Well, dear baker, you've received exactly what you've given." What do we understand from this story? In life, whether it's relationships with our parents, with our spouses, with our in-laws, in our friendships, and of course, even with our children, many a time we don't pause to think and ask, are we just getting what we are giving? When the baker cheated the farmer, he never thought that he would be caught out by supplying him a little less than a pound of loaf. Many a time we don't realize in relationships that we may be giving and getting exactly what we actually deserve. When the baker was providing a little less than a pound of loaf, he never imagined that the farmer would use his loaf of bread as a measure for the butter. Many a time in relationship, particularly with in-laws, we find that many in-laws complain about their daughters-in-law and sons-in-law, believing that they don't want to spend time with them, that they're not really interested in meeting them or in going ahead and developing a relationship with them, not often pausing to ask that what would they give to those in-laws, to the daughters-in-law where they show no interest in what kind of work they do, what their lives are about, or vice versa, to the sons-in-law where they're really not interested in any aspect of the son-in-law's hobbies, etc., etc. So many times in life, when we are bitter and resentful, we want to step back and ask that are we usually giving something and expecting something quite the contrary in return? It doesn't work that way. Even in friendships, you'll see that many people feel very bitter and resentful about the fact that their friends haven't kept in touch, they haven't been, really amicable in the relationship, etc. Many a time not stepping back and checking. Maybe they aren't taking the effort that is also required to maintain the relationship. So there's the saying, it takes two to tango, and many a time what we give is often what we get. Even in parent-child relationships, you'll see many a time parents complaining about the indiscipline of their children, never stopping back to see how disciplined they themselves are. So let's not be like the baker who cheated the farmer of the amount of loaf of bread he provided him with, only to realize later that unfortunately he was getting back the dose of his own medicine. Thank you for watching the Varkha Cholani channel. If you like what you hear, do hit the like button, and of course, please feel free to share my video. Till then, goodbye.